Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. The Real Rant Reviewer welcomes you. Yes, thank you for joining this awesome rant review. It's on the screen. Artificial Intelligence, AI for short, 2001. Steven Spielberg directed, starring Haley Joel Osment. All right, as far as that, I want to give my fucking opinion. Now, I like this movie. I was gonna say love because I love the ending, but I like the movie a lot, and I'm gonna say why. But if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I understand. But Haley Joel Osment, this performance is way better than The Sixth Sense for me. Okay, 100%. This is Haley Joel Osment's pinnacle of his acting is right here as David, the mecha robot in artificial intelligence. He pulls this fucking thing off, and I feel for his robot. I feel for his character. He's great. He's emotional. He plays this part to perfection. So Haley Joel, hats off to you for 2001's AI. I think you killed it in this shit. You're the greatest performance you give is in this movie. Um, doesn't get enough credit for it, I guess. But anyways, Spielberg, of course. I'm not going into the Kubrick shit in this movie. Wrote blah blah blah. Fuck that. I'm going into how it was and how it was presented and how it is. Um, you follow David, and he's brought to a family. He's a robot. He's brought to a family that has a child that has cancer, is dying of cancer, whatever. So he's brought to this family, this mother and father, to, help them do the grieving process or help them through, through this or whatever. And David comes into the picture, and you see this relationship between David and the mother as it blossoms and it flourishes, guys. It gives me chills. It's beautiful. And the cinematography is beautiful in this movie. I like it. I like the feel of the movie. I like the look of the movie. Great production design. Spielberg. Of course, he doesn't disappoint. And the story's amazing. So, and great acting. So basically, the kid though gets better. He ends up coming back, Martin, and Martin's, David's brother now, supposedly, right? But Martin is treating David like a toy, and as Martin has a birthday party, David has a protection mechanism. Friends end up bullying David, and David ends up almost drowning Martin by accident. At this point, the father says, "Listen, we got to get rid of David. He's danger." So we got to bring him back to the factory and destroy him. The mother is distraught. She brings David to the woods and releases him in the woods and says, "Just run, dude, just run." And she has to tell him she don't love him or nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. David is left alone in the woods by his mother, abandoned. And he's got Teddy, this little robot, and he walks around and he runs into Jude Law, who's on the run himself here. He's a framed robot for murder. And it's cool, it's Joe or whatever, and he's going to this. He's caught though, and these humans, they do things to robots in this arena for fun and entertainment. But David's, before he ends up getting in there in the arena, he pleads and begs for his life like a real child. They all believe he's real, and a riot starts, and they end up releasing these robots. David gets away with Joe. Joe brings him to a. It's kind of Pinocchio story, of course. He wants to become a real boy so his mother will love him. So he goes to the fairy, or the Blue Fairy, and this is the Blue Fairy scene where they're talking to the Blue Fairies, played by Robin Williams, or R.I.P. And he asks three questions, and the third question, I think it was, "Where's the Blue Fairy?" And he tells him the Pinocchio rhyme. And what David does is takes that serious. He ends up taking a ship down to the Blue Fairy, which is like a broken down carnival underwater. Anyways, I'm getting to the end because it's very important. And he stops there. He's a robot, but he stops there, and time stops there. He's stuck there, and he just waits there for the Blue Fairy, guys, for, I don't know, thousands of years. And as the human race disappears or whatever, and thousands of years go by, David sits and waits. Finally, if you want to call it artificial intelligence or a alien species, comes many millenniums or thousands of years later, finds David, the robot here, the mecha, and they reactivate him. And they realize, they access his memory bank, they access everything, and they see what David, I'm gonna cry. It's just making me cry. I'm gonna get through this. They long for David's happiness. So they asked David, what would make him happy? And he said, bringing back Monica, which is his mother. But he said, listen, if we bring her back, it's only gonna be for one day. And you bring her back for one day, you can spend with her. And he says, well, if you want me happy, then you know what you have to do. So he says, as you wish. And the alien gives him the one day with his mother, guys, that he's always wanted for thousands of years. They resurrect the mother off DNA. She's able to live for one day. And she resurrects, she comes back, and she awakes. And she doesn't know how she got there. She doesn't remember. She's instructed not to tell her anything about her past life. And she's just happy when she wakes up because she sees David. And then finally, at the end of the night, this perfect night, his mother says, "David, I love you. I've always loved you." And that's all he wanted to hear. Thousands of years, right? And David hears those words and he falls asleep. And he falls asleep forever alongside his mother. And the place dreams are born. And that's the end of the movie, guys. Artificial Intelligence 2001. The Real Rant Reviewer recommends you watch it.